In this video, we are going to write some equations of lines given different pieces of information. So, to start off here, let's remember y equals mx plus b. That's the equation of a line. M is our slope. M's right there. And b is our y-intercept. So when you have an intercept, that's an awful y-intercept, but there it is. That would be your y-intercept. So wherever it crosses that line, that's going to be your b point. So we're going to first look at slope and y-intercept. We'll take a look at a graph, and then finally I'll give you the slope and 1 point, and we'll come up with the equation of a line. And I'm going to show you two different ways to do that way. All right, so firstly, a little quick substitution here. So given m and b, how do you find the equation of a line? Well, m minus 3 is simply going to sub in front of the x, because m's right there. And then the b, which is 1, is going to put right here. That's going to be our intercept, or y-intercept. Given a second example, for this one, y should equal minus 2x minus 4, and just to confirm that, there it is. So we've got minus 2, the minus 2 goes in front of the x, the b is the intercept, so this one crosses at minus 4. What happens if one of them is 0? Well, that's just going to actually cause us to be a little simpler. What's going to happen is we are going to put the 0 in for the slope, so we're going to have 0x, and we're going to have a plus 10, and so this ends up being the equation of our line right here, y equals 10. And what happens if we get 0 in for the b? Well, this time we're just going to have 1x and plus nothing, so our line becomes y equals x. Okay, so let's take a look at a graph and see if we can figure out the slopes, knowing that we've got a rise over a run or change in our y and our x. That's actually going to make things nice and simple. So here's an example of a graph. You can see that our y-intercept is right there, and it looks to be at minus 3, and so we can identify that right away. Our rise in this case, we are going up by 3, so our rise is 3, and our run is going to be 2, so this is going to be over 2. So when we put those together into y equals mx plus b, our m is 3/2. We'll put the x in, and normally it would be plus b, but in this case, remember, b is actually minus 3, so it's just going to end up being minus 3. There's our equation of a line. Second example, you'll notice that this slope is going to be negative. It's a negatively sloped line. You can identify your intercept right there, and so that's 1. Your rise is going to be plus 1, and then this time your run is going to be negative 2. And why is it negative 2? Because remember, our x values on this, the x coordinate here, are going down, so that's why it's going to be negative. So we get negative 1/2, and when we write our equation of our line, we get that result. All right, on to our last one here. So there's going to be a new formula here. This is the point slope formula. You can use this. It's pretty decent. So what you're going to be given is a coordinate, and you're going to be given the slope. And all we're going to do is we're going to substitute that point into the equation and also substitute the slope. So taking a look here, here's a question. We've got the slope is minus 2, and we've got our point. There's our x point, remember, and there's our y point, x1, y1. So we'll go ahead and we'll substitute that in, and so you can follow the math. There's our slope. There is our x1 point, and there is our y1 point. So some simplification here, y plus 5 minus 2x plus 3, and then what's happened is that the plus 5 has come over to this side to become minus 5, and plus 6 and minus 5 make plus 1. This method's okay. I think I might have a simpler method to follow this. So let's do the same question over again, but this time we're going to substitute into y equals mx plus b. So let's identify what we've got here. Again, we've got our slope is m, we've got an x point, and we've got a y point. All right, so our y point in this case is minus 5. So that minus 5 has now appeared right there. We'll put the equal sign. Now we know our slope is minus 2, given in the question. Remember, b was minus 2. So instead of the m here, we'll plug in minus 2. Let's recall we also have the x point here. That's plus 3, so we're going to put that right there. And we're just going to put plus b. In fact, all we're solving for in this problem is this b, our y-intercept. So next step, just a little bit of math. Minus 2 times plus 3 is minus 6. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to want to get our numbers on the left, and we're going to keep our b right where it is. So we have to get rid of this minus 6. So in essence, it's like we're adding 6 to either side. So when we do that, we get 6 on the left, Then these 6's, that sort of look like a B, They cancel out because they're equal to 0, minus 6 and plus 6. And all we're left with is b. And then, so again, some simple math gives us our b term. So 6 plus minus 5 is minus 1. Once you have that, all you need to say is, okay, I just need to go back to this equation. I know my slope, given in the question, is minus 2. And we just discovered that our intercept is plus 1. And we've got our final equation of a line right here.